Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and I'll be talking about the upcoming Space Marine 2 April community update, some teaser images that were recently released for the new weapon skins, and even a new heroic weapon, on top of a first look at one of the Iron Hands Successor chapters coming with the new Iron Hands chapter pack. Now, Space Marine 2's patch 13 is already confirmed to have no public test server, unlike the previous patch 12 and patch 11, which is part of the reason it feels like we haven't had a content drop in ages, since usually the PC version of the game would have a PTS release by now. Patch 13 is also shaping up to be far larger than we originally expected, with a progression update, new customization feature, and an all-new boss and operation. And we'll even be getting a fairly substantial rework to the siege mode, so there's a lot to look forward to here, and the community update for April is supposed to be massive as well. Focus said this will be an 11-page community update, including the updated roadmap for year 2, since Techmarine launched a little bit later than they originally intended. Now, since we currently have a community event ongoing for the Infiltrator helmet until May 6th, you really shouldn't expect patch 13 until after this finishes, because there is no way they're launching a brand new patch while players are simultaneously in the middle of a community event that is usually intended to hold over players until the next patch anyways. Warhammer Skulls is also confirmed to be returning this year, and they'll probably want to time the release of patch 13 around that, as it is the biggest gaming show event for Warhammer 40k in general. And this is also what they did with the Arbites launch in Darktide last year, that went on to be that game's biggest post-launch patch in its history, with peak player counts on Steam hitting well over 45,000 players, so they probably want something similar for Space Marine 2, I would imagine. We might see this patch before then in mid-May or something, but a conservative estimate would be late May at the earliest. I know a lot of you guys are really excited for the new patch since we haven't had anything new for Space Marine 2 in months, but we will have to wait a little bit longer. That being said, Focus did put out some teasers from this new community update and patch 13 the other day, and when I say teaser images, I mean these are teaser images, J.J. Abrams style drip feeding the player base. But the first one is a very clearly cut off image of a plasma pistol, and this will almost certainly be the new heroic plasma pistol coming to patch 13. Even though the image is like 70% out of frame, this is the exact same weapon skin we have for the heroic heavy plasma already, and we've known for a while now, thanks to data mines, that a heroic plasma pistol is in the works. The leaked image for the heroic weapon effect looks related to the cooldown, so maybe we'll get some shot charge speed or instant weapon cooldowns with the heroic effect. That could be pretty strong, but hopefully the charge rate is exceptional as well, because the rate of fire plasma is currently the best plasma pistol by leagues and bounds thanks to its charge speed, and any other variant would really be hard pressed to match, let alone outclass it with a slower charge rate. There were originally supposed to be 6 heroics this patch, but that has been changed to 3 since then, since they decided to split these between the Techmarine update and patch 13 instead. As patch 12 of the Techmarine update was originally supposed to have 0 heroics at all and just include the new class and operation stuff instead. But before you get disappointed by the lack of heroics this patch, it does seem Focus has saved some of the best for last, and they also released teaser images for what looks to be an Omnissian axe skin, which is really strange to me since we just got a heroic Omnissian axe. But that being said, this could be a first look at the new siege mode skins, since we know that the siege mode rework will include new color skins for weapons like the power axe and Omnissian axe. And speaking of the power axe, the community event we got for the Phobos helmet recently had an image with the Vanguard wearing the Infiltrator helmet, but also using a power axe with a skin that currently does not exist in the game. I've seen some people go back and forth saying this is the Artificer variant reskin for the siege mode. We already know that Space Marine 2 has a heroic power axe in the works, and this is also the only melee weapon in game that currently has no heroic variant. We also had leaks for the heroic effect as well that looks potentially related to your riposte backstep ability, but even if this image is not the new heroic variant, it is almost certainly coming this patch alongside the plasma pistol and the heroic chainsword that we already saw a teaser image for in the previous community update at the end of March. There was also a new teaser image that they released that looks like the top portion of a new weapon skin, or what some players have been calling a Heretic Astartes helmet. And guys, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I know a lot of you guys want Heretic Astartes in operations and siege mode, but Focus and Saber have been adamant that Heretic Astartes are not coming to PvE because Games Workshop just said no. So you really should not get your hopes up for this, and any chaos related stuff will likely just be for the future PvP updates that we already know are coming with things like patch 14, unless something major has shifted at GW. As for what this actually is, I think this could be related to the Omnissian axe skin for the new champion pack. We know from data mines that the new Iron Hands chapter pack will include a champion skin for the Tech Marine, which is the very obvious choice. And usually these come with a cosmetic skin for a weapon as well, just like we saw with the Raven Guard champion skin and the bolt pistol. So this is most likely related to that, and you'll be able to rep what is probably going to be an Iron Father, because I really don't know what else they would base an Iron Hands champion skin on, if not their Chaplain Tech Marine guys. And speaking of the chapter pack and champion pack, there was also a teaser image that gives us a glimpse of one of the upcoming Successor chapters in this DLC. This is pretty obviously an Iron Lords, and the dead giveaway here are the brownish red trousers, as this is kind of their signature look. They are known for being incredibly xenophobic and almost solely responsible for keeping the hyper-violent Xenos race of Barghesi from getting devoured by a Tyranid hive fleet and having their strength added to the hive mind's arsenal, and this is part of the reason why they are one of my favorite Iron Hand Successor chapters. It also looks like this image is on the Assault class, but since this one is from a Successor chapter color scheme, you will be able to access it on every single class in the game, and we also can't make out any of the unique armor pieces coming to this chapter pack from this image, but we do already know that it will contain 4 unique options, just like all the other cosmetic packs do, and clan decals as well for the Iron Hands chapter that don't currently exist in the game. There will also be the Sons of Medusa, Brazen Claws, and Red Talons alongside the Iron Lords as Successor chapters. Now, one other image they put out is a strange one. This looks to be a hand pressing a button or something. I feel like this one could be related to the Siege mode update, as we do know there will be minefields added to the requisition store, and there may even be an interactable option that comes alongside those as well, or this could just be part of the new operation coming to patch 13. We know this one will have you going through a swamp and probably interior sections as well, so it might be tied to that. Let me know what you guys think this one is though, since this one is really up for interpretation in my opinion. It is pretty hard to make out what this actually is compared to the others, and the community update is allegedly coming out the 30th, so tomorrow. And the things I want to see the most regarding future content is an explanation on the progression system that we know literally nothing about, and also the new customization feature coming to patch 13 that we also know nothing about. I will say the updated roadmap is supposed to contain major changes to year 2, and I have a feeling that we are being prepped for something huge coming to this game. I've seen a lot of players go back and forth on whether we're getting a year 3 or not when it comes to the money that Saber is making from Space Marine 2 and the far more substantial content drops we had in year 2 compared to year 1. A year 3 is most likely coming. Even Games Workshop has been pushing Titus into the forefront of tabletop with new model releases and an entirely new campaign box set for 500 worlds. So Space Marine 2 really is at the forefront of Games Workshop's flagship army. And speaking of other things that are coming for 40k beyond the community update for Space Marine 2, we will also be getting a show and tell from Creative Assembly tomorrow for Total War Warhammer 40k, which is supposed to go over what we can expect from the game's scale and planetary maps, which has been a major question people have had considering this is the first Total War game taking place in space. And we're going to get even more information for Space Marine 2 and Total War 40k, among other titles, at Warhammer Skulls, so this is shaping up to be a pretty huge year for Warhammer games. So let me know what you guys think of the teaser images we had here, and what you're looking forward to the most in patch 13, or if there's anything that's been unannounced that you want to see in the game added at some point in the future. If you want to catch me live for both patch 13 and the show and tell for Total War 40k on top of Warhammer Skulls, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description alongside a link to my community Discord. And as always guys, thank you for watching, take it easy, bye.